السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. طلابي الأعزاء، طلاب الفرقة الثانية بالمجمع التكنولوجي المتكامل بالأميرية. أهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم مرة ثانية مع الدكتور بدر عبد الفتاح والمحاضرات الإلكترونية المتعلقة بمادة التكنيكال إنجليش. Today, inshallah, as usual, we have a kind of a technical reading text. And the technical reading text today is about Thomas Edison. And I usually prefer to start with a question. I know that this is not a face-to-face session, but anyway, I'd like to start with a question, and the question is very simple. As you see, what do you know about Thomas Edison? I'm sure that you know much information about Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is an American inventor. His famous inventions are the light bulb, which is today's topic, and also he invented many other devices and machines like the motion picture camera and also the phonograph. These are just some basic information about Thomas Edison. So we start as usual with reading the article about Thomas Edison and then explaining the meanings of difficult vocab in the article and moving to the questions at the end. So Thomas Edison holding a light bulb. Here is the most famous invention of Thomas Edison, which is in the light bulb or المصباح الكهربائي, and we have a picture of Thomas Edison and his own light bulb مصباحه الكهربائي. So start with reading the first paragraph. Thomas Edison invented the first commercially successful light bulb in 1879. Ironically, barely anyone in America had access to electricity. They couldn't use the new invention. Edison worked to solve this problem. He helped to develop power plants so that they could distribute electricity over wires to homes and businesses. Once electricity reached customers across the nation, everyone had light bulbs. This is the first paragraph in the article, and one more time it talks about Thomas Edison. It talks about the idea of how Thomas Edison invented the first commercially successful light bulb. This was in 1879, and of course before that time people in America didn't have any access to electricity. They even couldn't use a new invention which was produced by him. So Edison has worked hard in order to solve this problem, and on his way to develop a solution for the problem, he developed power plants عمل محطات كهرباء so that they could distribute يقدر يوزع بيها electricity over wires to homes and businesses. يقدر ان هو يوزع بيها الكهرباء دي عبر او من خلال الاسلاك المختلفة الى المنازل والى الشركات والمصانع في ذلك الوقت. Once electricity reached customers across the nation, everyone had light bulbs. Light bulbs literally changed the way people lived. Before, people strained to read by candlelight. Now they could read comfortably with adequate light. The invention of the light bulb also led to the invention of other electrical items. Soon, refrigerators and electric heaters also help people live more easily, and radios entertain people. One more time, the main idea here of the second paragraph. One more time, it's about life before the light bulb, which was invented by Thomas Edison. People when they used to read, they used to use what we call a candlelight. A candle what? A candlelight زي كده الشمع يعني. المصباح اللي هو كان على شكل شمع أو ضوء الشمع يعني. Now they could read comfortably with adequate light. Now they have light. They can read in an adequate way. The invention of the light bulb also led to other inventions. أكيد طبعا اختراع المصباح الكهربي أدى إلى different other inventions like refrigerators, like electric heaters, which help people later on, and also like radios and of course TVs, which help people to have like entertainment later on. Imagine what your life would be like without light bulbs. You would have to keep a lot of candles at home. The streets would be sometimes so dark. You probably would not go out after sundown. A simple little light bulb has made all the difference in the world. It has created a high level of convenience and security for the human race. الفكرة دي or this paragraph is talking about a kind of imagination for our lives without having the light bulb, without having such light bulb, or without having in general electricity. You would have to keep a lot of candles at home. That's the first step. Everyone would have to keep a lot of candles at home. Streets would be sometimes so dark, no light in the streets, and therefore you'll not be able to go out after sundown. And you can imagine your life with just a very simple invention like the light bulb, which has made all the difference in the world. It has created a kind of a high level of convenience. الحياة أصبحت فيها أمن بشكل كبير، security وأمان بشكل كبير and convenience، وأصبحت مناسبة للقيام ببعض الأنشطة وبعض الأمور طبعا كانت ناتجة عن اختراع توماس أديسون ل the bulb or the light bulb. These are the different paragraphs of the passage, and now it's time to move to the questions. We have the first question. The first question is, when did Thomas Edison invented the household light bulb? So according to the article, it's in 1879, the first one. So the correct choice is number 1, 1879. That's question number 1. So question number 2 here is, what purpose does the last paragraph of the passage serve? If you get back to the last paragraph of the passage and we just focus here on the purpose of this paragraph, you have 4 choices. Choice number 1 is, it shows that Thomas Edison was a leading inventor. It shows that people's lives would be the same without the light bulb or electricity. It shows the perspective of a world without the light bulb or electricity. How hard people's lives were without the light bulb. So in order to answer this question, of course, you need to get back to the article. But if you get back to the article, of course, you will choose letter C. It shows the perspective of a world without the light bulb or electricity, because it talks about life, our life without the light bulb or without electricity. More than talking about the idea that Thomas Edison was a leading inventor, or the idea that people's lives would be the same without the light bulb or electricity, or how hard people's lives were without the light bulb. So question number 3 is, without electricity, it's most difficult to read at what time of the day? According to the article, of course, and according to our own logic, Of course, it's hard to read at night without having electricity at home. So the best choice would be the last one, which is at 10 p.m. Of course, at noontime you can read, whether you have like a light bulb or not, whether you have electricity or not. Of course, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon you can read, whether you have electricity or not. At 8 a.m., yeah, you can read because it's still in the early morning. But at 10 p.m., it's impossible. It's impossible to read if you don't have electricity. Next question is question number 4. Read the following sentence. Before, people strained to read by candlelight. Now they could read comfortably with adequate light. The word adequate here, adequate, most nearly means, is it dark? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it bright? So the meaning of the word adequate here, adequate light. It's like, yeah, it's like good light. Yeah, correct. Question number 5. The main idea of the passage is Thomas Edison's invention of the light bulb, electricity, and how these inventions changed the way people lived. That light bulbs and electricity changed Thomas Edison and people's lives. That people's activities were changed by the invention of the light bulb and electricity. The Thomas Edison and people were outdoors less because of the inventions of the light bulbs and electricity. Of course, the correct answer for the main idea of the passage is number 1, which is Thomas Edison's invention of the light bulb, electricity, and how these inventions changed the way people lived. That's question number 5. Question number 6 is how has the light bulb created a high level of convenience and security for people? In order to address this question, you can of course talk about people without light bulb, without electricity, they are not safe, they are not secured, especially at night, according to the article, because according to the article, you can go at night after the sun goes, you can go at night if you have electricity, if you have like a light bulb. And of course life would be convenient because many other devices, many other inventions were based on the main invention of a light bulb, like we talked about heaters, and we talked about refrigerators, and we talked about radios and TVs as devices which are used for entertaining people. So life has become more convenient, more suitable, more appropriate, and of course more safe. Because of what? Because of the invention of the light bulb and the spread of electricity to every house. Question number 7 is, were power plants necessary to help people use electricity? Explain. Of course, power plants were very necessary because through them he could distribute, Thomas Edison could think of distributing electricity over wires to homes and businesses. And once electricity reached people at their homes and businesses, of course everyone had light bulb. Then we have the last question. Choose the word that best completes the sentence. If there were no light bulbs, the streets would be sometimes so dark you probably would not go out after sundown. So is it both? The streets would be sometimes so dark, or is it then the streets would be sometimes so dark you probably would not go out after sundown, even or either? Of course, the correct one is yes, then. Then here means as a result. This is the end of our lesson today about Thomas Edison. I hope that you could benefit from the reading article with new vocab or new information for you. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.